G'day and welcome back to Torment to Torment Thursdays, in fact, where we are playing through Torment Tides of Numenera. Last time round, we finally beat Malaise, which was a fight that literally, problems with it resulted in me quitting Torment Thursday in the last version of the beta. So it'll be good to finally move past that. One of the things I've been doing in the intervening space between this episode and the last one is I've been reading through the Torment Explorer's Guide, which is much, it's basically the Torment role-playing, like the tabletop sourcebook for the content of this game. This game is deliberately set in a different area from the base, and yeah, it's pretty neat. So I'll probably try and go into more detail about it later on. One of the things I quite like about it is it goes into all of these areas. It's clearly of Sagus Cliffs and a bunch of other areas I presume we'll go to later on in the game. But it provides these sections with hearsay and rumors, which is a standard part of a Numenera sourcebook actually. But in this case, the ones in Sagus Cliffs are almost all side quests I have seen in the game, which is kind of cool to have, because it means I can reference things in the game. Partially hidden in the trash of this dump is a frightened Stitches, though it doesn't look like the other Stitcher you've seen. Its chitin is soft and weak, and its claws are small and malformed. It stares at you from its hiding place and chitters incomprehensibly. Where are you from? A series of gurgling sounds emerges from deep inside its belly, punctuated by a concussive grunt, followed by a scent of sparks struck from rocks and metal. It isn't clear whether the Stitches understood you or not. How did you get here? It weaves its head and clicks its claws, then pauses as if waiting for a response. The odor of ozone and stale air surrounds you. When you make no reply in its language, it shakes its head vigorously and says nothing more. So, yeah, I mean, we can't actually get the knowledge of the language yet. In the previous version, we would have actually been tidally attuned, and right now, we would be gold attuned, and we'll be able to use a tidal affinity, but at this stage we can't, for whatever reason. A scrawny boy in rags reaches out to you as you pass. Ma'am, please, ma'am. I know you saw the Stitches hiding in the midden. Please don't tell anyone about him, ma'am. He's not doing anyone harm. You saw his hands. They're like human hands. He can't dig like the others. It's not him that's bringing down the houses. What is the Stitches to you? We found him, ma'am, my sisters and I, and he was so pitiful, near to starving, near to dying. We've been feeding him ever since, but we've got to get him out of here. The neighbors will find him soon, and that'll be the end of him. Do you have a plan to help him escape? No, ma'am, we can't just walk him down the street on a little order to feed him. Would see him. Not to mention the neighbors. They'd kill him for sure. You feed him power cells? Stitch eat electrical energy. Can't find nearly enough. He's starving. I won't tell anyone. Your secret is safe with me. Thank you, ma'am. You're a lifesaver, ma'am. Now, if only we could get him to safety. Maybe I can find a way to get him out of here. Could you, ma'am? That'd be wonderful. If you can find the other Stitcher, maybe that'd help him. I heard some of it down in the underbelly, but I've never seen it myself. I'll try. Thank you. I had a feeling I could trust you. Right. So what we'll do is we'll go down to the underbelly and see if we can improve that. The other thing that I was wanting to do is there is a ruined house. I think it's up here. Yes. And I want to interact with that ruined house. We are kind of deliberately avoiding part of this side quest. I just want to kind of get it done. The corpse of the young woman lies undisturbed among the ruins of the house that became her cairn. Oh, I already did this. My bad. It's been a while. But I thought I was meant to get something from one of the ruined houses. So that's why I want to check. Seem to recall unearthing interesting things. The collapsed house looks exactly as it did last time. Even... Yes, I think so. Wait. Yeah, we already did that too, because she's actually traveling with us. Well, whatever. I guess that's something that they will have fixed up by the final release. It is kind of annoying that they haven't actually done anything with this beta yet. Like, okay. They've released 2 copies of the beta. There was the initial release, and then there was another release in June or August. And it's now October. They could do another release. I don't know why they haven't done one. It's somewhat ridiculous to me that they haven't. Okay. Chkekt regards you silently, then begins its pantomime. The scent of tunnel grubs and sharp metal fills the air. I found a Stitchus in Cliff's Edge. It's hiding in a refuse heap, and the humans want to kill it. Can you help? It looks at you for a long moment, as if it... Oh, can't believe what I just heard. Is weak. Outcast. Not feed self. But non-broodmates should be dead. The odor that rises from the Stitchus is dry and musty, the scent of an insect's corpse curled on a windowsill. It's disgusting. Weak or not, it doesn't deserve to die at the hand of the mod. It's your kin. So, can I get anyone to help me with this? No, because you're completely out of intellect. And I just got none. Well, give it a go. Nah, not that persuasive. No. Some life is drained. Parasite. Contribute nothing. If Stitcher save Outcast, will starve and die anyway. Human kill Outcast. Useful for all. Will reward. Found a dead Stitchus near. Can you tell me anything about that? Nell tunnel. Broodmate weakened. Could not feed self. Could not feed eggs. Digs tunnel to collapse it on itself. Not one bird in the Stitcher family. Barely strong enough to collapse tunnel. Failed in life. Too weak, perhaps. Why are you digging underpopulated areas? Stitcher must survive. Must live where food is, yes? Human watch every step. Avoid stepping on insects. No impact on other life. Sacrifice of others is natural order. It taps you in chest. Smart for human. Points towards the rest of underbelly. Not smart. Why concern? Not... Gross for the word. Not sentient. How? You claimed that people in the city aren't sentient. That's not true. The Stitches shifts its weight back and forth. Simple humans. Fight. Eat. Kill. Try to steal eggs. Not harming you. Sentient? It trills out a scoff. You're digging... How did you come to be under the Sagus cliffs? It shrugs its massive exoskeletal plates grinding. No ancient ever to tell. 4 generations only in caves. We live instinct. Only guess at legacy. Memories stolen. It growls in frustration. It pats the wall nearby. Stitches hatch from egg. Yes? Yes. Traders come from evil bloom. Other worlds. Think humans stole eggs. Humans brought eggs to world. Humans hatch eggs. Larval Stitches. A mystery to buyer. Released here. Chkekt exhales from its spiracles. Must guess at function. Must guess at society. Maybe advanced ones. Maybe great civilization. Now? Now only dig. Dig for clues. Why are you digging here? This arm. Chkekt raises its great arm. Dig. Draw energy from rock, from friction. Eat electric charge. Store electric charge. Points to spiny growths on his back plating. Here. Rock good. Hard. Much electric. Best found. Other places not good. Your digging is causing problems for the people above. Not concerned to Stitcher. I'd like to ask other questions. Can we talk about Pillai again? No. Doesn't trust Pillai, is really what it comes down to. Come again to ask you to stop digging underneath the city. Why? Not learn us speech? Not work us? No, not now. We dig. Can you take me someplace under the city? The stitches indicates it understands you. Pull some shins from a hidden crack in its exoskeleton. It points to the shins, then points to you. A scent very much like that of baked bread emanates from it. And you understand that you must pay for the privilege. I'd like to go to the Changing God Sanctuary. It shakes its head. You smell solidifying magma. The aroma reminds you of regret and the knowledge that you should not push further. Okay. There's nothing that I can do there. Alright. In the interest of... Let's see, there's a couple of things we can do. We can continue this investigation. Or we can go to an area of the city we have never been before. I don't want to talk to you right now. I don't care. I just want to move... No! Interface! Okay, fine. That seems to have worked. Better. Alrighty. So I don't think we've ever actually spent any time exploring the Caravanserai. The question is, do I push on this? Do I basically betray the little stitches and let it be moided? Because it comes from a brutal culture that basically goes, oh, you have human hands. Sucks to be you, buddy. We'll see. Let's talk to Zeb and see what it says. What he says. Whatever. Good to see you again, ma'am. How can I help you? Does anyone else live back here? There used to be a lady who lived next door. Now no sorceress, but she disappeared a while back. And there was a family 2 doors down. We heard them screaming on the night. Their house fell into the sea. He shudders and looks away. My sister Nim was friends with their little girl. This your house doesn't look safe. We know. That's why we stay outside most of the time. Ever since Avina noticed some cracks around the walls. We didn't go in there to change clothes and stuff. Okay. Tell me about your family. Yes, ma'am. There's 4 of us, counting my father. But he's gone to the Bloom, and we don't know when he'll be back. I'm Zeb, and that's Nim, my little sister, the girl with the flute Savina. She's not actually our sister, but she's still family, and there's no one else. That's it. Tell me about your father. What's his name? How long has he been in the Bloom? His name's Zeb, too. Zabak Uralau. And it's been a year at least. He went to work for the Memavira. For a while he sent back shins, then they stopped. I haven't heard from him since. He squirms uncomfortable. Bloom's like that, though. Sometimes it doesn't let anything out. I figure it's just wait until it opens up again. Well, yeah, about that. So, no, we're gonna go to the Caravanserai. I want to see if we can actually... Oh, I never also looked in here. But that's it. The reason for looking for the Caravanserai is... Yeah, there's no actual way to enter in there. Cool. Is because up in the Caravanserai we have the way down to the Bloom. And I suspect that is literally not accessible in the beta. But, I mean, it's still something I want to see. The Bloom is kind of a huge organic city predator, is the way that it was described. And so we'll see how we go. Ooh. So let's see where we can get to. There's a Memavira guard, which basically is the way down. These guys are Gibra, which means they're from Rajolis. Can we see the Bloom from up here? Interesting that this area actually has Fog of War, where none of the others did. So we'll have a look around. Wiggity whack, what do we got? Oh, whatever, let's just keep going. Carrying one person. Ah, there we go. That's our first glimpse of the Bloom. Because there are stairs down to the Bloom up here. Have a quick look around. See what we can find. But yeah, there are stairs down. And this is basically a big old airship port. Okay, so yeah, so where was I? Yes, so it's a giant city predator thing, is how it was described, which basically feeds off its inhabitants. It's a charming place, but I was looking for the way down. So I'll have a quick look around, because I know that there is meant to be basically a big long staircase, but I suspect it will be behind him, and this will be a way to Government Square. But we'll see. Have a quick look-see. Yep, there we go. Definitely Government Square. It's interesting though that one actually you have to explore fully to get the map. Just doesn't operate like it. Oh no, maybe I'm getting Pillars and I'm getting Pillars and Torment mixed up, because Pillars doesn't make you explore towns to reveal a map as well. Alrighty, so here we are in the Caravanserai, which is basically the main area of the city that I haven't spent much time in any version of the playthrough. So I guess we'll start chatting to people. Levy, young man, blah blah blah. There's a bunch of beds and things here. Airship captain. Examine the book on top of the bed, sure. And so here we go. We have the pages of the book are made of thick vellum and appears to be an atlas of the region. The book's open to the map that depicts the city of Sagus Cliffs, the Valley of Dead Heroes nearby, a large range of mountains to the north labelled as the Ossifagan Ridge, a range, and a large circular desert to the farther to the east as the Lost Sea. A thin strip of fabric has been placed between the open pages. A second strip of fabric marks another place in the book. Try to judge the age of the book. It doesn't seem new. Its pages worn from frequent use. That's all you can discern. It might be anywhere from 10 to 50 years old. No dates are stamped on any of the pages. Look at the names of nearby settlements. So, besides Sagus Cliffs, you see only a few other cities and towns. In the center of the circular desert is a large blue dot labeled the Oasis of Mirajolas, and a smaller dot next to it, Jerboa. On the far side of the desert is another city, Haref. On one end of the Valley of Dead Heroes is a dot labeled the Necropolis. It's unclear whether this is a settlement or just a site of interest. Let's look at the other fabric strip. Okay, so this is another full-page map representing a region called Augur Kala. It appears to be located somewhat to the northwest of Sagus Cliffs, and it's defined by a massive ring of mountains labelled as the Clock of Kala. The mountain range is so perfectly round that it was almost certainly engineered by artificial means in the distant past. Several cities and towns dot the landscape, but the largest and most prominent is named Sada Imidu. Let's look at the other settlement names. Nope, that's nearby. Okay, let's look at the night table. The table is finely made and has a single drawer. Try to open the drawer. The drawer appears to be locked, but you can hear something rattling around inside. The noise is faint but constant, as if the object is alive. Let's try to pick the lock. Okay. Yeah, we'll just use 1 point of speed. Oh, what do you know, we unlocked it. After a bit of effort, you hear a satisfying click, and the drawer opens soundlessly. Inside you find a small ornamental comb that looks like a jeweled insect. In fact, it is a jeweled insect, a biomechanical marvel that's very much alive. The pincers seem to fasten themselves upon locks of hair, and its wings allowed to hover around the wearer's head. There are several strands of hair still clutched in the comb's pincers. They're a vibrant purple. Let's leave it alone. We got an antique hair clip. And so this is a quest item. Interesting. And yes, it allows you to create unique styles that would be impossible with a normal comb. Makes sense. Let's go talk to Tranquility. A woman as tall and graceful as a willow steps forward to greet you. She bows and then looks at you with warm, gold-flecked eyes. "Welcome," she says, "to Tranquility's Rest. I am the proprietress, Tranquility. Are you looking for a place to take your ease?" As she speaks, a sense of delicious calm comes over you, and you find yourself wanting to agree with her. There's nothing you'd like better right now than the peace and solitude of a quiet room. Forgive me for asking, but are you human? She laughs melodiously. No need for apologies. Given my height, it's a natural question. I am indeed human, a human mutant, and fortunate to live in Sagus Cliffs where that is not a crime. There are very few places in this world where someone like me would be even allowed to clean a hostel, let alone own one. Tell me about this place. It's the most peaceful inn in Sagus Cliffs, with the most beautiful views. All rooms face outward, so the bustle of the Caravanserai is invisible and inaudible. All you see is the sky and sea and the roofs of the city far below you. All you hear is the breeze. I'm the sole owner and have been offering solitude, security, and discretion to travellers for 20 years. You'll never have a sound night's sleep as when you will when you stay here. Bye. Okay, so let's go and talk to a silver orphan. Two silver humanoids stand near a vehicle of indeterminate origin. Their skin has a reflective metallic sheen that makes them both appear part of and separate from the scenery around them. As you approach, both of them turn to face you. They have no mouths, and their eyes are fathomless black, reflecting nothing. A name for these creatures rises from memory. Silver Orphans. It may not be the name by which they know themselves, but it's the name used by the Order of Truth. The Silver Orphans turn to stare at each other for several moments, then the one on the right gestures at you in a complicated pattern. Seeing your confusion, the one on the left kneels, using a foreshortened finger to trace lines and circles in the dust at your feet. Ripples radiate from a point. First a square, then a human eye, then an unrecognizable mass of interconnected dots. The Silver Orphan looks up at you, awaiting your reply. No matter your efforts, the meaning of the drawing eludes you. The Silver Orphans seem neither discouraged nor cheered by your failure, though they continue to watch you even after you've given up. Let's try to copy it. Okay, so he has something that's an asset on this. He's trained in concentration, so he can do it without spending any, but on the other hand, without edge, it doesn't, we actually effectively have the same base chance. It's just that we can only get up to 85, and in theory we could drain the rest of Aligon's pool. But you know what? Let's just do this. Medium bonus, moderate difficulty, we pass. Critical success, in fact. You trace the drawing starting with the same series of symbols that the one on the left drew. It watches your hand more than your face, your head scanning your facsimile as it appears in the dirt. At a critical moment, it reaches over and corrects a line you've drawn, and the image as a whole takes on a far deeper meaning than you had imagined. Like the resolution of meaningless noise into the refrain of a beloved song, you suddenly know what it is the Silver Orphans seek: machine intelligence, however or wherever they may be concealed. The orphans watch impassively as you reach this realization. The one on the right holds out a hand in request for information. Tell the orphans about the peerless drones. You draw an approximation of the Reef of Fallen Worlds, indicating the location where you met the peerless drones with an X, and copying the orphan's original drawing next to it. The one on the left crouches and adds a few quick strokes that you take to be a query for further information. After some thought, you draw one of the drones you encountered, then some more beside it for good measure, linking them all together in an attempt to indicate their connection to one another. The orphan on the right likewise crouches and stops your hands before turning to face its twin. Long moments pass before they look back at you in unison. They then each reach inside themselves, withdrawing parts of an unidentifiable device. They put it together, handing you a complete but curious Numenera, the likes of which you've never seen. You get the feeling they're very pleased to have this particular intelligence reported to them. Let's also tell them about the foreman in the underbelly. Sketch and approximation of the city's manufactory, including rough depictions of the foremen, carefully indicate how they tower over the human workers, then draw a line connecting them to the orphan symbol for machine intelligences. Silver orphans watch you intently until the drawing is complete. They turn to stare at each other. From the one on the right reaches inside itself, its silver hand merging seamlessly with the glistening metal of its torso. An instant later, its hand is whole again, and it's holding an object of peculiar construction. It drops the item into your hand. Payment, you assume. I'll let you know if I find any. Okay, so what did that net us? So the contingent subroutine allows us to make a recovery roll when incapacitated, and that's still useless. And so let's go into our inventory, and that right, because we got the furtive Eidolon. That's Sarah Sprig. Here's the conduit rings. Converts all damage. Okay. It's kind of useless to us because it uses intellect. Converts all damage as a chosen type and adds minor additional effects. So basically, it allows us to add energy resistance. With parts scavenged from the hulls of ancient vessels, this ornament was crafted into one functional whole by an ancient nano-Numenera smith known as Mintonian. His name, or possibly title or denominator, is shrouded in legend, but if even a small part of them is true, his skill is truly beyond today's ken. Okay, cool. That could be useful, but also, it's, you know, worth 1,600 shins. We can buy some pretty nice stuff with that. I think it's also basically reusable. Ah, right, it's actually like fancy in that I could say put it on him and it goes in here, and oh, look at that. Nope, fine. I thought that would activate something. Oh well. Now. Memorialist. So these guys are the guys that live in the Valley of the Dead Heroes. Yep. So they... I know you, don't I? You visited the Valley of the Dead Heroes not long ago. Good to see you. Alright. What do we have? Let's also talk to Omadon, and then we'll go and do a little bit more exploration. I guess? Yeah, that sounds good. That exploration will take place next time. Unfortunately, this recording was interrupted a little, so timekeeping's a little bit more complicated than it would otherwise be. This robed man turns a golden bespectacled gaze and winning smile on you. He seems a charming enough sort, but it's clear he wants something from you and is perfectly willing to take it, politely and with absolute guile, of course. At last, he says. Someone who looks like they can see further than their nose. These Sagusites are as observant as rocks. He clasps his hands together, pleading, Please tell me you've seen a beautiful girl with purple hair. Her name's Persea. She's my beloved, but she suffers from a madness that causes her to fear everything. She can't stop running from imagined dangers. I've been chasing her for, years now, trying to catch her and cure her before she hurts herself. Let me give you a description. I recently tracked her here to Sagus Cliffs, but none of these blind fools can remember seeing her, even though I believe she stayed here for a time. He grips your arm. Let me give you a description so you'll know her. She's heartbreakingly beautiful and wears winged hair combs that float around her head, constantly changing the arrangement of her purple hair. Please, if you see her or hear word of her, return and tell me. My name is Omadon, and I can be most generous. How did you and Persea meet? We were at the same grave in the Valley of Dead Heroes. A mutual friend, and in sharing stories of our love for that friend, we found that we were kindred spirits and decided we do not want to part when we left the valley. He smiles wistfully. Oh, that a place of death could give birth to something so beautiful and undying. Can you give me more details of her appearance? As I said, she's hauntingly beautiful. And yeah, Wing comes. Her speech may seem confused, so pay no mind to what she says. It's only her madness talking. Once she's returned to me, I'll be able to cure her. What sort of things is she gonna say when she's raving? Almost anything, but one of her more persistent delusions is that I'm her enemy. Nothing could be further from the truth. When she's in her right mind, she loves me as I love her, but when her madness is upon her, it's more painful than the truth can say. What caused her to go mad? He frowns, thoughtful. It is, I believe, some trauma associated with her birth or early life. We found that it could be overcome with love and care and certain medications. Even then, some lapses occur. It was during the last of these Persea vanished, and I've been on her trail ever since. How do you hope to cure her madness? With love, mostly. But also with certain ancient techniques I've learned in my years of study for the cooling and untwisting of fevered and unknotted minds. I'm positive that once I'm able to isolate her from the corrupting distractions of the world, I'll be able to restore her to her true self. Yeah, that doesn't sound at all like someone who is trying to kidnap a woman and, take her away. I'm suspicious. That is super suspicious. And with that very suspicious story out of the way, join me next Thursday where we will continue talking to people in the Caravanserai and maybe try and investigate some of these bits if we can. Until then, have a great day. Bye.